don't stay so focused on the how that it overrides the fact that you made a decision to get it done. I don't know how I'm going to do a whole lot of stuff. I don't know how I'm going to make $10 million this year. I don't have any idea how that's going to happen, but it's going to happen.
Here's the thing. In my experience, I've had I make a decision. This is what I'm going to do. And then I get to the how I'm going to do it. And once I figure out all the stuff it takes and how I'm going to make this thing happen, sometimes I just realize this is not what I really want to do.
That too.
So sometimes the how will override the decision. And I go back to make a decision on what I want to do based on something that I feel I want to get done. My thing is, my message is going to go maybe against everybody and what they have to say about it. And I think in 10 years, they'll see how Steve Jobs was right. I call myself Steve Jobs, but kind of. So I'm saying, everybody, if you have a goal, you need to spend some time figuring out how you're going to get it done. And in your how, you identify what you're going to do next. So I think you got to figure out how, then make a decision that on this list of things, you're going to actually do that.
People say a whole lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's the say what you mean and mean what you say kind of theory in layman's terms. Like people just talk to be talking. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna make that, I'm gonna be a better father, I'm gonna be a better mother, I'm gonna do. But really you're not. It's not because you don't know how, it's because you truly haven't made that decision. Like you were talking emotionally or you were talking to impress somebody, but you really haven't decided. So I think a made up mind is going to figure out how.
Attention coaches, consultants, course creators, if you get paid based off your knowledge, I'm going to tell you something very, very important, okay? What if I could teach you how to make extra 5 to 6 figures every single month using simple Facebook and Instagram ads, all right? Let me tell you about my boy. He got the paid ad playbook. Listen, this paid ad playbook is going to give it to you for free, first off. Marquel Russell, one of the most genuine people I've ever met, he's created over $500 million in client revenue using the paid ad playbook strategy, all right? So listen, go to socialproofgift.com or text proof to 904-447-5274. If you want to get 50 to 100 new client leads every day that actually convert, you need to go to socialproofgift.com or text proof to 904-447-5274. And he's going to give you a bonus video that helps you with a strategy to customize your particular strategy for your particular business. All right, again, socialproofgift.com, text proof to 904-447-5274. Let's get into the episode.
Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast. My name is Donni Wiggins,
I'm
and
David.
You probably came here for me, but that's David over there.
Yep. How are you?
How are you? You go first this time.
I am awesome. I feel really, really good about everything.
Yeah.
Well, that's not entirely true. I'm feeling better. I'm healing now. Yes, King Energy is here for those that... is our advisor.
Our spiritual advisor.
We'll find out what he has to say about why I'm feeling the way I feel. But yesterday, I went to... No, this was crazy. Yesterday, it was stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff. And it just kept hitting me from different angles.
Like good stuff, bad stuff?
Weird stuff. I don't want to say bad.
Stuff. Okay.
I use the word weird. But yeah, weird stuff just happens all day. And I got on Instagram Live and I just asked the audience for permission to just complain a little bit. Let me just complain without inspiring y'all. Is that cool? Mm-hmm. And they promised not to judge me, so I got to just talk through all my problems for today, all the things that happened. Now, my problems are still maybe, they're problems for me, stressful, right? I'm sure some people are like, oh, that's not a problem. I wish I had those problems. Well, my problems are my problems. But I got a chance to talk through them on Instagram without being the motivation and the inspiration and to teach me something.
Yeah.
I just got to talk. And that actually, since then, I felt really, really good. I felt like the weight was lifted off my shoulders. So I'm going to do that more often. I'm just going to call you and start telling you my problems.
When's our next lunch? It's been 3 weeks, I think, at this point.
That felt really good, right?
That felt really good.
Seriously,
we got together for lunch. I unloaded on David. my life is in shambles. And here's why. No, but seriously, I unloaded on David, and immediately that day I started feeling better.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if King Energy in a previous episode talked to us about Pluto. And I don't know if it was the placebo effect or if we were really pushing P. But on the 10th, things did start looking a little brighter. Things started to feel a little better. And then in my mind, I gave it to the 15th, right? So when that happened, my operations manager, I said, you know what? After we met, I'm like, I got to get my stuff together. Like, I just cannot be around here. Sure, I'm not the most motivated person right now, but I have to artificially force myself, right? So if the motivation isn't coming naturally, I have to artificially, intentionally put some things there that's going to make me work. And so I had Kyle come down and we got together. And in one day that we spent maybe 4, possibly 6 hours together, I got my whole life together, like my whole business structure for the whole year. Where does this fit into this and this fit into that? And really mapped out some offers that I've been hesitating to launch because I was just so unclear. Well, the last 4 business days, I have been in a zone. Like, this is the zone. I have had the energy that I had in 2020 when I was coming on the other side of COVID the first time. And I'm like, you know, I told you at that time, it was very serious to me. I had that what if something happens to me moment. How will my mom and my daughter survive without me? And so at that time, after I got that was the only time when I had COVID that I didn't think I was going to survive it. And so at that time, I went in a cave. As soon as I got better, nobody could hear from me for about 60 days. And I created what's now my signature product and put the pieces in place to really what led me to build a 7-figure business. And the last 4 days, I have been back. I got Batgirl energy.
Okay, so you want to talk about yesterday?
First of all, let me tell you how it was the day before yesterday.
But it happened yesterday. What's that? Yesterday? Tuesday?
No, it happened the day before yesterday.
Monday,
I talked to you. I responded to you yesterday. David and his wife, Andrea, are such good friends that if they don't hear from me for 24 hours, they put an APB out for me.
No, not just not hearing from you. Can I explain the situation?
Yes.
And I just want to know if I'm tripping, okay? And there's a lesson in communication. Sunday night, we do the Brain Picker podcast, which was really dope. And then she said, because we're supposed to open up a bank account for the last month. She says, we can go tomorrow at 1:00. Remember, Reese, I was saying we were going to meet Donni. She said, Sunday night, we can go at 1:00. So I reply maybe a couple hours later and say, okay, what bank? Right? Okay. All right. Let's just pull out the receipts. Because I was just
I wish I had told the story first because he's going to skew it to his view.
Just stop me when I start lying. Okay? So she sends me a text. Hold on, where's it at? Okay. This is at 8:26. That was dope. 2 episodes Wednesday, but I have to be done by 12:40. I have a 1 p.m. appointment. I can do bank tomorrow at 1 p.m. At 1. This is, yes, Joe. Just go get it, Joe.
You are
all right, cool. Standing like security. He's like, just go get it, Joe. It's cool. All right, so look, she says, I can do the bank tomorrow at 1:00. This is Sunday night. Speaking of Monday, at 1:00. She sent that at 8:27. I replied at 11:19, okay, bet, and which bank? Fair, right? Monday at 12, I say, where are we meeting? I need to know ASAP because I'm hanging around because I know we got this appointment at 1:00. And then I sent her a face emoji because she's bugging at 1:15. She just doesn't reply. And then yesterday, a day later, I say, are you okay? No responses. So then I call her significant other and I say, is Donni okay? Because this isn't like her to set an appointment and then not even reply at all.
Can I go now?
I'm not done.
Okay.
So she says, you guys are so dramatic. I'm fine. I was extremely busy yesterday. My main system crashed. I didn't take my phone off. Do not disturb at all. That was an all-day thing. Still being handled. Kenny just called me and said there was an APB about. Out for me. Also, you took too long to reply Sunday night. I thought it was a no-go, and I was already asleep.
Okay, so.
Before you go, who's in the wrong? Did I lie at any point?
No. Let them hear my... No, you didn't lie. Let them hear my perspective. Okay,
go for it.
So we film a Brain Picker podcast episode. We had a great episode. David and I usually recap after every episode, right? We'll either hop on the phone or we'll send a text talking about the episode. So I did the same thing I always do. Soon as the episode ended, I sent him a message immediately. That was dope. I didn't get a response. 1 minute later, I said...
Why would you get a response 1 minute later?
No. Because this is what we do. What you guys don't understand is we be like, chat. While I'm typing, I can see his bubbles, right? So it's usually instant. 2 episodes Wednesday. I was confirming for today. I can do 2 episodes Wednesday, but I got to be done by 12:40. I have an appointment at 1. And then I said, I can do bank tomorrow at 1 because we've been looking for some time to go to we didn't have an appointment. We were not confirmed. I said, I can do bank. Now, this was at 8:27 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get a response at 8:37, 8:47, not 9:07.
Now you're just drawing it out the way.
No.
We're waiting 8:37, 47.
Well, you usually respond right away.
I was just with my baby, yeah.
This is what happens. He usually responds right away. So I'm thinking I'm going to get a confirmation of before bed. Well, by the time he texts me, I went to sleep. I was already asleep.
Which is fair.
Now, I went to sleep. Now, in the middle of the night at about 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and I always wake up. My phone is on Do Not Disturb, but I always wake up in the middle of the night. I look at my emails, little stuff that'll help me go back to sleep. I don't open messages or Instagram because I want to go back to sleep. So I'm looking at emails and I see that I get an email that says my calendar had been disconnected from my funnel. Something like that. And I'm like, what the heck? So I'm sending messages because that means nobody can schedule an appointment with me. If nobody schedules an appointment with me, I can't make money, right? So I'm like, that's really weird. And I forwarded the screenshot to my team. When I got up for the day, I saw that Infusionsoft completely crashed. It was complete. They canceled my account in error. They canceled the account in error because I told them that I was going to be transitioning to another company. Well, they thought that was my way of saying I'm done. So they can't. So I'm on the phone all day long. I literally did not. I'm in panic mode. We can't collect money. I can't get appointments. Everything in my business was shut down. So I didn't see it. But we did not have an appointment. I gave you my availability.
Did you see my text the next day?
No, I did not see. No, I did not. I did not.
I forget
yesterday, I did not see your text the next day. So what happens is my phone is in Do Not Disturb, but my significant other, my daughter and my mom can get, so I have 2 different lists. You're on a list that can get through. But when I'm like in a...
Wow. You preface this whole thing with, I have 2 different lists. So first off, I didn't see yours, but you were about to say something about replying to all these other people.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. So when I put my phone on Do Not Disturb at bedtime, only my mom, Deja, and Kenny can get through. Only them. But usually when I wake up the next day, I put it on the other list so you and my sales team and other people can get through.
I'm just on the sales team list.
I did not take my phone off that Do Not Disturb mode, so I'm not getting any calls or messages, and I'm all in because I am the only one on my team who can fix this issue, which is a problem. But I'm the only one on my team who can fix this, so no. So yesterday, I get to the salon, which I had intended to respond to all messages, not just you, all messages at the salon and that night. Well, Kenny calls and he's like, hey, is everything okay? Have you talked to David, Andrea? I'm like, no. And he's like, well, they're calling me looking for you and trying to make sure you're okay. I'm like, what? Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. I forgive you. Just don't let it happen again. All right, so we are here.
Get you some friends who panic when you don't hear from them, when they don't hear from you in 24 hours.
I was genuinely worried. I was really, really worried. Yo, Joe, she looks a little overexposed. You think? Look at that real quick. Thank you so much. All right, cool. So week was good. So it's still going, right?
But you are sincerely feeling good?
Yes. I am better.
Same. Yeah. That's why I was saying, I know Pluto was supposed to be making us deal with some things. And I feel like I'm getting better, but Pluto may have a first cousin who's nearby. Because I don't feel great, I feel better.
Here's the thing. I think if we look throughout our life, there's always ups and downs.
Yeah.
It's the journey of entrepreneurship, business, what have you. Relationships, up and down, up and down, up and down. I don't know if too many outside factors, especially one as far as the moon, and I don't want to stay there, can affect how things go. So if I were to look into 2008, when the real estate market crashed, right? There will probably be somebody who can connect that whole recession vibe to something in the planet. Or if somebody's looking on the opposite end, they'll look at something as a refreshing or renewing or something, right? So Donni had an amazing day yesterday. I had a really rough day yesterday. Same, like two different people, two different situations. We can't, I have a hard time blaming that on an alignment of planets.
Well, I didn't have an amazing day necessarily. I've been very productive. So remember, I could not shake this lack of productivity that I was experiencing.
Whoa. I got it.
Okay.
I did get it.
You did. But I couldn't shake the lack of productivity. Now, Monday put me in Monday's day wasn't amazing. I had to handle that. And it still spilled over into yesterday. And it's still going on, but it's at least the basic essentials are in place. So I had an incredibly productive day based on something really negative happening. My system crashing.
Right.
So
it's just the woes of business.
It's just what happens.
And downs, good days, bad days, good days. They follow each other. They're grouped together. I think, you know what's crazy? You would have probably had a more amazing day in business if you did some things to prevent you being the only person that can
for sure
fix this problem.
For sure.
That's based on your activity before the alignment of the planets.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah, and someone else is qualified and could do it, but what at the time, so when did we put Infusionsoft together? 2020. So what was 2020's year? Okay, so that's when I put the foundation together, right?
Of course.
In 2020, for real. This is but Infusionsoft, for anybody who uses that system, is a very difficult system, right? It's called, the nickname for Infusionsoft is Confusionsoft. And they've changed their name to Keep because of that, I think. Because it's called...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when I'm putting the foundation together in 2020, when you sign up for it, you have to have coaches help you set up this foundation, this system. And I'm working with different coaches. Some had quit. And so my system was put together, but it was kind of based... This is like a lesson, working with different coaches. I worked with maybe 3 or 4 different coaches while setting up my system. And those coaches tell you, oh, well, the best way to get this result is let's set up a campaign and automations to do this. And then the other coach comes in and says, well, I don't really know why they told you to do it this way. I would do it this way. So we're going to go in and just kind of edit some things. Then the third coach comes in like, I don't understand what they did at all. So at the end of the day, I was the one who sat in on that process because I didn't have a team and everything was kind of just finagled and put together. Nobody understands it. So I wouldn't put my team in a position to try to sort through all those different coaches' angles. The ideal situation would have been that I worked with one coach and fully understood one strategy, but that wasn't the case. So then when stuff happened and hit the fan, this week, the new coach, so now 4th or 5th coach that's seen me in the last 2 years.
And Infusionsoft gives you a coach?
They give you these coaches.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So they give you a certain amount of hours with coaches. And based on your volume, you get some every month or something like that. Anyway, so this now 4th or 5th coach, who was really, really nice, had to come and try to sort out the chaos of what 3 or 4 other coaches had done 3 or 4 years before. Because what happens is when Infusionsoft canceled my account, every automation that I had connected canceled with it. So we had to go and put all that stuff back in place.
Dang. You had a rough week.
Yeah, but one would say I had a rough week, but it felt so good to handle it that I feel incredibly productive.
Good.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Listen, follow one coach.
Listen, if I was going to teach you how to make $1 million, would you give me 10,000? Like if I had a course teach you how to make $1 million a year positive, you're going to make $1 million, would you give me 10,000? Of course you would. It's no brainer, right? So in a calendar year, we make 7 figures with the podcast. But there's 21 things that I extracted from that you're going to need to launch your podcast. But I only got time to give you 3 right now. One is you need a distribution platform. The distribution platform is what you upload your podcast to. That platform sends it to Spotify, Apple, Google Play, so that your supporters can actually listen to your podcast. You're also going to need a microphone. You need a really good microphone so it's crispy audio. And 3, you need an income strategy. This is not necessarily a hobby, unless you're going to make it a hobby. But I can teach you how I made the 7 figures with these 21 things. Now, the good news is you don't have to give me 10,000. My ebook is only $37, okay? So listen, go to podcastebook.com and get the 21 things that you need. And I can explain it in detail, all the things that you need, okay? Podcastebook.com. Let's get to the episode. That's a fact.
Follow one coach. So many people are signing up for so many different courses for the same thing, right? So you got a sales course from this person, sales course from that person, podcast course from this person and Dave. And then you're like confused because Dave tells you, well, this is what you need. But then you've got John B who tells you this is what, and then you don't know what you need. Or you listen to me as a business coach and someone else is a business coach and someone else is a business coach. And you're trying to piece together what part of everybody's strategy you like. Mm-hmm. And so you've got this mix match of strategy. Well, when it's time to troubleshoot, none of us can help you because this wasn't my complete strategy.
That's a fact. Somebody was on the morning meetup, like we'll do the Q&A on Thursday. And they're like, yo, I got this coach. And it was either you or Marquell. It's like, yo, I signed up for, let's just say Donnie's program. And I had a question on this. And my answer is, you need to follow whatever they say do.
Yeah.
Because it's not, because I think sometimes you're fishing for a different answer or an answer that feels more comfortable. Mm-hmm. But I don't go against somebody else's teaching, even though my philosophy might be different.
Yeah.
Right? So, because that's going to be confusing. It's like a football team that has 2 head coaches.
Yeah, that's what it is. And by no means am I suggesting that you can only work with one coach for the rest of your life or can only work with one coach at a time. But I'm talking about specifically subject matter related. So if you're working with a business coach, work with one business coach. But that doesn't mean that you can't have a spiritual coach or a relationship coach at the same time, right? So somebody told me once before, I saw, one of my students, you put a lot of emphasis on organic marketing, but I'm working with this other coach who puts a lot of emphasis on paid marketing. And so I wanted to basically expedite the results. So I went all in with paid marketing and it didn't work. Okay, well, if you had completed my program, you would know that I put a lot of emphasis on organic marketing in the beginning for brand new brands who have no validation. You don't have any testimonials. Your paid ads are only going to magnify what your organic attraction can do. So you would know that my strategy isn't just organic marketing, it's both, but we have to do this first. Mm-hmm. And because you're listening to 2 different coaches, you put your program together through me thinking you got this great program, but you went around and did your marketing strategy differently, but then you want to come back to me to fix it.
Let me get this off my chest. So y'all are at the morning meetup, right? And remember, I was talking about, you need to figure out how to do what you need to do. And then Donni says, well, the how isn't that important. And then I think Ronnie said, don't worry about the how. And then Myron was like, you spend too much time figuring out how to do it. And you just do it, right? And so every time somebody said something, we hear, ooh, as if I'm going to change my strategy. So what people aren't telling, this is what I gather, this is what I thought. Where there are, we actually teach on pretty much everything we do, how to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right? So what was that?
That sounded like a combo.
That was a combination.
That sounded like a combo.
Okay, I don't know who it was. I'm not going to say who it was.
Y'all know what kind of combo I'm talking about,
I think it was Joe. I don't know, but I'm not pointing fingers. Anyway. So, this is what I'm gathering. So let's say the teacher's on stage, they're on stage teaching you how to do something. But they'll say, don't be so focused on the how. Because I believe in an audience, not everybody can handle the word how. Because you might get stuck in the how. Most people will get stuck in how, right? Because in your mind, you can't, you're trying to figure out how to get something done. I want to make 6 figures, and it's just easier to say, I'm just going to make it. I'm just going to do some activity. Well, what's the activity? How often should I do the activity? How intensely should I do the activity? When I do the activity, how do I measure if the activity is working? But nobody wants to go through all that. We just want to do it, right? So if I'm asking Donni, like, yo, Donni, how can I be a coach?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to reply with the answer of, oh, you just start coaching.
Mm-mm.
But I think that's where we're coming from. Even the book, right? Who, not how. And we take the end of the book as if the how you're going to do something isn't important. Probably, if you want to be successful, someone told you, you need to go read this book, Who, Not How, which is a part of the how to get to where you want to go.
Right, but that's not the message that I was communicating. So that day we were talking about what comes first and what's most important, the decision or the how.
For sure.
And my thought process was and is the decision. Like you have to decide that you're going to get this done, and the how you will attract the how. So to your point, so you're saying, in my course or in my coaching, I teach you how to accomplish your goals. Well, I am only teaching people who first made the decision that they wanted to do this.
For sure. 100%.
Yeah. So they made the decision first, and I attracted I attract the decision makers, and then I teach them how. But unless they made that decision, my how doesn't matter.
I'm with that 100%. I'm just saying, am I bugging? A lot of people took it as, oh, you don't got to do it a how, you just got to make a decision.
Well, nobody ever said that. The how matters.
What?
No. We didn't say that the how didn't matter at all. Nobody said at all.
But there are some people.
The decision is what has to happen first.
I agree with that 100%. Okay. Does anybody did I make that up? Am I bugging? Because every time somebody would say something about don't worry about the how, the room erupts. Like,
yes.
Oh, see, you don't need the how.
Well, because the reason that we say don't worry about the how is because most of the people who are worrying about how they're going to do something hadn't even decided, 1, that they're going to do it, and 2, that they're going to be committed long enough to attract or find out how to do something, right?
That sounds crazy though, Donni.
It's like, don't worry about, I used to tell my daughter, don't worry about how mommy is going to send you to college. What college do you want to go to? She decided on the college, and I worried about how.
That's different.
No, it's not different.
Don't worry about how. Different.
So I didn't know how I would make 7 figures. I really didn't. The pieces, I just decided. We did it the same day. I decided that I was going to make 7 figures, and stuff just started happening. I did not know how I was going to put my course together while I had COVID and we couldn't go anywhere. And I live in an area that is high traffic and it's all this I didn't know how I was going to do those things, but I decided that I was going to do it. And every single day I'm just finding out I'm getting this resource and that resource. And I came across this training. I'm like, oh, that would be good. I literally recorded the first 6 weeks of my course in my bathtub. Because I got in my bathtub, surrounded myself with pillows, put blankets in the bottom to create insulation.
Pillows around a bathtub?
Yeah, because so I wouldn't have that bathroom echo. Oh. I didn't know how, because in my condo is glass everywhere, and you can hear the traffic, you can hear the wind and the rain, and so that wasn't producing a quality course. So I'm like, I don't have anywhere to go. No offices are open, and I started looking up. I'm going to do this course. I go in my bathroom. I hear the bathroom noise. Then I am on Instagram and somebody talked about how to create an at-home studio, a TikTok video. And so then I start looking for the TikTok video or YouTube information. And that's where they said, oh, put pillows around your tub and put a blanket at the bottom and it'll create insulation, sit in the tub. And that's how I recorded my course.
Okay, so that's just two different experiences from two different people. Because if I make a decision, let's say, okay, so my thing was, all right, we're gonna have first 7-figure year. My first thought is to look up how to make 7 figures in media. That's my first thing. How am I gonna do it? I talk to people when I get a chance to interview everybody, and I'm asking how they made their million. Because I wanna know how you did it, because I can too do it. But for me, it's not, I don't know if like I say, I'm gonna make a bunch of money and then opportunities just come across my table. It doesn't work that way.
That's what happened, David. For you.
No, it didn't.
You did hard work, but it was because of opportunities that were created.
As soon as that episode was done, I went home and mapped out how I'm going to do it.
I did it too. But every single thing, I did that too. But it was like an overall kind of category. Every single thing that I said I would do to make 7 figures, all those things aren't done, number one. I went back and over time, I revised. But none of the point is...
He's back.
The point is...
Okay, King Energy. He's like, they're doing a circular motion.
He's doing a circular motion.
Okay, what does that mean?
Over Donnie's head right now.
Like a halo? Okay.
Connecting to me? I'm attracting bugs?
All right.
Okay.
That was he pointed out, the bug is doing the circular motion, which means...
Connection.
Okay.
I'm connecting to the heavens through the bug. I was just about to kill it, so I'm glad that you said that. I'm leaving the bug alone.
Close enough to swat.
If he comes close enough, it's out of here.
You're getting too deep. I know, but you'll have to be on the mic, King Energy, and I don't know if we have enough time. Yes, we will. Hold on to it, because maybe we will talk about the circular motion of the bug based on...
Let's just pull him up a chair right here. Let him start talking through us from the back. No. But I map stuff out every single day, Shans, because I'm trying to figure out the pieces. But the point is, no. But the point is, don't stay so focused on the how that it overrides the fact that you made a decision to get it done. I don't know how I'm going to do a whole lot of stuff. I don't know how I'm going to make $10 million this year. I don't have any idea how that's going to happen, but it's going to happen.
Here's the thing. In my experience, I've had I make a decision. This is what I'm going to do. And then I get to the how I'm going to do it. And once I figure out all the stuff it takes and how I'm going to make this thing happen, sometimes I just realize this is not what I really want to do.
That too.
So sometimes the how will override the decision. And I go back to make a decision on what I want to do based on something that I feel I want to get done. My thing is, my message is going to go maybe against everybody and what they have to say about it. And I think in 10 years, they'll see how Steve Jobs was right. I call myself Steve Jobs, but kind of. So I'm saying, everybody, if you have a goal, you need to spend some time figuring out how you're going to get it done. And in your how, you identify what you're going to do next. So I think you got to figure out how, then make a decision that on this list of things, you're going to actually do that, right? So, Brett, you might say, okay, you had a question. Can you DM me? You had a question about something. All right, go to the mic real quick. And I know it's going to be tough to get there, but you just got to go a route that way. Because I think this is going to be a point. Because I think you've decided that you're going to be really successful, right? She's made a decision, for sure. Yeah, over there. But what I'm encouraging people to do is spend some time thinking, truly thinking, asking yourself questions.
I think in your mind, you feel like it has to be the decision or the how, and they work together. That wasn't the conversation.
They do.
They work together. So I will make a decision right now. I am led by that decision to go figure out how, right? And when I put my let's say my how is me writing out my goal list, like we talked about. Then I have to make a decision on attacking those goals and getting that done. So it's going to be a constant effort in unison of decision and how.
And because you've been successful, I think you understand it. But for other entrepreneurs, and as I'm talking to them, they don't place as much importance as I think should be placed on how you're going to get this done.
And see, I don't think they're placing enough importance on deciding. Like, people say a whole lot of stuff. And it's the say what you mean and mean what you say kind of theory in layman's terms. Like, people just talk to be talking. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna make that, I'm gonna be a better father, I'm gonna be a better mother, I'm gonna do. But really, you're not. It's not because you don't know how. It's because you truly haven't made that decision. Like, you were talking emotionally or you were talking to impress somebody, but you really haven't decided. So I think a made up mind is going to figure out how.
Right.
Okay, so I feel like the decision matters most importantly at first. And then after you made the decision, the how matters just as important after the decision is made.
I agree.
That's how I feel about it.
I feel that. So how long did it take for you to make a decision?
Overall, a long time.
A long time?
Like, to really make a decision and stand on it, it took about a year, probably.
Why did it take you a year to make the decision?
Because I didn't really believe that I could actually make it happen for real.
Yeah. So my question to you is, if you would have said, okay, this is the decision I'm going to make. I am going to start this business. And you spent time figuring out maybe what you want and how you're going to get there. Whether you stay with that decision or you decide to do something else, I think you would have got moving a lot faster. So let's say I decide, what was your decision? What was the decision that you, give me a decision that you made one time that you're not doing anymore.
Within business?
Any business. Did you do anything else or is this your first business?
Yeah, I started a boutique first.
Got you. You made a decision.
Yeah.
Right? Did you spend a lot of time on how to figure out how to make it successful?
In my own way, yeah.
What does that mean?
I spent time like watching countless YouTube videos and researching blogs and stuff like that. So I did spend months trying to figure it out first.
So where did you fall?
I didn't have proper execution. Like, I didn't, like Donni was talking about earlier, just getting information from all these different people and trying to incorporate all their strategies together. I feel like that's where I feel short.
Okay. I think I have the strategy. I think we kind of alluded to the other episode. Because you sent me a DM like, yo, how do I do this?
Yeah.
Right?
Did you send us the same DM?
I did.
Okay, multiple coaching. Because you sent me the DM
too.
too.
Yes, did you answer it? Did you answer?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Was our answer different or separate?
They were different.
They were different?
Yeah.
What did she say?
To create a funnel.
To create a funnel.
Yeah.
And what did I say?
To remove my pricing.
To remove the pricing.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What did you do?
Both. Well, I'm in the process of figuring out the whole funnel situation, and I removed the pricing.
I mean, I think I figured it out. I figured it out.
Okay.
So yes, decision. You have to make a decision. I don't think it should take all day though.
I agree. And I don't think staying focused on the how should consume so much of you that you are paralyzed from taking action.
You're right, but I do believe you should be consumed with how. You should be consumed.
You should
with
be
your
obsessed
strategy.
with your decision and obsessed with your process, your how.
So decision, how, like the strategy, and then execution.
Then execution.
If any of these three are off, which I truly believe that decision is the least important.
I want to invite you to pick my brain.
Mine too. Mine too.
Yours too?
Mine too.
Yours too.
I can
Okay,
pick
you
my brain.
guys. We are so excited because we just dropped our newest podcast series called the Brain Picker Podcast. David.
Oh, it's going down. You get to pick our brain. You have a business idea, a concept. You're stuck. You can't get off the ground. You need the advice of seasoned, experienced entrepreneurs. Not only entrepreneurs that are practitioners, but we got a lot of people that we've been coaching all over the last decade.
All over the globe.
That got receipts.
Not just that, you never know where your next investor might be hanging out. And the word on the street is we got all the connections.
That's a big fact.
We got all the connections. So if you want to sit down with us and pick our brains.
In front of our audience.
And we're letting you pick our brains. We won't even talk bad about you for doing it in front of our audience, bringing your business maximum exposure. Find the link somewhere around here, wherever you see it.
It's there.
And apply.
Right now.
To pick our brain.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. I just thought about this new training concept that I'm going to teach.
Yo, stop stealing my stuff, man. Golly. But I think decision is least important. Because if you figure, okay, this is the business I'm going to do, and you really engulf yourself in the how, and you execute, and you start, even if that wasn't did you break something? Even if that wasn't, I think through activity and through planning and strategy, you'll start to decide that, like, once you're in it and you're moving, that this is what I want to do. Unless
I don't think so. I mean, think about it. Like, let's
I'm sorry,
look
you have
at
something else to say? I don't want to keep you standing there. Unless you have something else to say, it's cool.
I don't.
Okay, go.
Let's look at a relationship, because everybody can relate to that, right? You can be working on, I see it happen all the time. People try to work on a relationship and do the hows. Oh, let's go to counseling. Let's hang out with other couples. Let's have more sex. Let's sit down and communicate, and then wonder why it's not working. And it's because the wife has already decided that she's checked out.
I'm with you 100%
right?
in that scenario. Yeah.
In that scenario. Well, let's think about it even in terms of business. In order to make my business work, I have to go live more. I need to do more podcasts. I need to reach out to my customers and build a bigger community. But I'm a person who's already decided that I'd rather stay in bed today, or I decided that I'm going to start focusing on this other partnership with somebody else. Like, the decision is important. Your hows will not matter. Like, here's the thing. There's a saying that says, to know and not to do is not to know. Mm-hmm. So to know how, yet deciding not to do it, is the equivalency of not knowing how.
100%. 100%.
You got to decide.
But that's in terms of, that's execution. That's the activity. So if I'm spending time figuring out how I'm going to get to a goal, right? Well, if I'm not executing, my next question for myself is, how do I get myself to execute?
But did you decide what the goal would be first? And then you broke that goal down by seven. Yeah.
Yes.
You decided what the goal is. Okay,
Donnie,
$1 million is the goal.
Yes.
Then I break it down into these hows. And then I break that down into execution. Like, I think we're kind of going in circles. We agree with all the steps, but they all have to happen.
Yeah. So I'll leave it with, I want y'all to spend more time figuring out how you're going to do it after you make the decision.
Yeah, and I want y'all to be committed on making a decision, because a lot of you are stuck in your place because you haven't really made a decision.
What if
You're
you
on
are
the
a
fence.
decision maker, and I believe an effective decision is based on an amount of time. Because we decide to do something today and we decide to do something tomorrow. And I guess at the end of the day, life is a series of decisions. That's what your life is made up of.
Every day.
Whoever you are today or whatever you've accomplished is just the sum total of the decisions that you've made.
That is true.
100%.
Somebody said that. I can't give you credit for that original thought.
I said that. That has definitely been my bar for the last 10 years. Life is just simply...
We got that from an MLM.
maybe. I'm so sorry. But it's just a series of decisions, right? So the if you have an issue in your life and something's not getting done, we need to find out what is the root problem of this right here. So I was talking to KD Bo yesterday. Day before yesterday, maybe. We had lunch. And he started talking about ADHD. And ADHD is like the inability to focus. Is that right? Anybody been diagnosed with that? You're diagnosed with it? Can you tell me do you take pills for it? You take drugs? No? You do? You take... All right. Okay. I understand.
So you're untreated.
You're untreated, medicated. He's medicated.
Medically untreated. Well, that's arguable too.
Yeah, he's medicated.
He is
self-medicated. Well, the weed man, medicated.
He relies on herbs.
So so he's talking about ADHD. And he's like, he was telling the story how his dad had it, and I think like his brother had it, his uncle had it or whatever. And then he was like, how did it skip me? And he said he went and got diagnosed, and he like really ranked high on attention deficit, right? Mm-hmm. So they started him out with like a low dose of something, and he said it was literally like taking a limitless pill because his focus was like, because right now I wander. Like Did
they put him on Adderall?
I think so.
Yo, I have taken an Adderall before, and you will be zoned out.
Really?
Like, if you need to get some... Okay, first of all, I am not by any way suggesting. Adderall is given to people with ADHD, and it's also given to people who want to lose weight. Because it's a weight loss. They give it to people who want to lose weight as well because you're on the go. You're moving, and it's keeping your body moving and essentially contributing to weight loss. But let me just tell you this. 15 milligrams.
Really? I'm about to hit him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So actually, he'll tell a story if he picks out.
Yeah. And so if you...
I broke a meeting.
His voice.
You're in a meeting?
Christ.
You're in a meeting right now?
I broke the meeting to take your David Shands.
Oh, my bad. You're on the Social Proof podcast. So you don't have...
People.
Do you have time?
If I need to make time for David Shands, I make time.
Appreciate it. Don't you have the most wonderful voice in the world? All right, so you were telling me about the ADHD thing, right? And and I was telling you I'm a little reluctant to go get treated, right? But you were saying I should, right?
1,000%.
Why?
Hey Dave, like honestly, why do you wear glasses?
So I can see better.
I think you answered your own question.
No, well,
Let me tell you this. Yeah, because there's nothing wrong with your eyes. Your eyes are the way they are. But in order to have the kind of vision that you need, you got to have a little supplement.
Yeah, but you said what is the pill that you take?
To tell the world on the social media.
It's medical though.
Yeah, it's medical, but it's Vyvanse. It's Vyvanse. Some people say Adderall. Adderall is one version, Vyvanse is another.
Gotcha. Yeah, Donni said she would be taking it for kicks.
I did not say that, KD.
She said, I take that and woo! That's what she said. Yeah, he's on FaceTime.
She can tell you exactly what it does. It basically, I mean, honestly, bro, it's like cocaine. It is.
Let me call my
because
connect real
it's
quick.
an amphetamine that speeds up your brain and it speeds up the processing power of your brain. Like mine is naturally slow. I got naturally slow processing brain. It takes me forever. And that's why any small little distraction will be like, yo, I'm gone. I got to come back. I don't remember what world we're talking about. But when I take the Adderall, it speeds up my processing and it helps me process things better.
Yep.
And I can kind of focus. I can focus on the task at hand.
But you're saying it provides a come down where when you're not taking it, you said you don't like the way you feel.
Because I naturally have ADHD. I don't like the way I feel naturally. Because it takes a long time for me to process. Now, for people who have already moderately fast processing brains or whatever, medium or whatever, even when they take it, it speeds theirs up. It's like you got a Mac that's 8 gigs of RAM. You take the Adderall, you got 16. You got 16 gigs of RAM, you take the Adderall, you got 32. It's just whatever it is going to make you better.
Okay. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna take the test. I'm sure I got that joint though, bro.
I know you do. I've sat with you, sir.
All right, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Indeed.
All right, brother.
So a couple of things. It has been suggested that I could potentially have ADHD, right? I've never taken ownership of that. It's based on people's observation of how quickly I can become distracted. Like, I can become distracted, which is why now I have to intentionally do things like put my phone on Do Not Disturb and don't look at it. Maybe sometimes even put it in a whole other room because I will be like, yep, this is my agenda phone. And then I find myself 2 hours later on Instagram, still on Instagram. Adderall, a friend of mine, and again, this is not, because Adderall can be a very dangerous drug. It's powerful.
Addictive?
Absolutely can be addictive.
Really?
So that is not anything, I'm just sharing my experience. I have taken...
You just hit, let me hit my connect. You just, you're addicted.
Well, and so let me just tell you this. So I grew up with parents who were in the military. And knowing what I know about how certain things, like if you're diagnosed ADHD, at least at that time, I don't know what it is today, in the military, if you're diagnosed ADHD in the military, that's grounds for discharge, right? So it's a ding against your medical record. I've also seen certain type of things, absolutely, because you can't be in combat getting distracted. Like you'll get everybody killed, right?
Dang, that's crazy.
Those type of medical diagnosis will get you disqualified from certain things. So it was always the thing to don't go and get diagnosed for something like that if it could potentially affect your career path, right? That was how I grew up. So I was never, I tried Adderall from someone and I was so focused in doing what I needed to do, but I never went and said, hey, I could use this prescription. Number one, because I don't want to get addicted to anything. Talking about the highs and lows. So Katie was right. What he said was, let's just say your brain works like a computer and you got 16, gigs or RAM memory. It'll take you taking Adderall. It'll take you up to 32. It's so powerful that I can't even take a complete pill. I'll take a half. Right? So
what happens if you take, I'm trying to understand, like, when you say powerful, what happens? It means it's you like, become lethargic or what?
No. Think about an Adderall like taking 5 shots of straight espresso. You jittery and you're going, right? You got this, your upper, you got this upper. It's like energy shooting through the roof, focus shooting through the roof. And you look around and you've cleaned the whole house, built your whole studio, done all these things. But then when you come down from it, right? For some people, it depends on your weight, I think. For some people, it lasts, a day, 24 hours. You should not take more than that, I think. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. For me, I will stay up on Adderall for like 36 hours. But then that next day, I am knocked out. Like I am sleeping like never before. So then the addiction
and to get over that sleepiness,
somebody will want to take another one. But I'm not easily addicted. So I will take it and I just know I got to get something done today. I got to be incredibly focused. I might take this. I know I'm going to sleep for like 12 hours in 2 days and it's done. But that's not, the better thing to do is either take a shot of espresso. Some herbalists and vegan people would say take, some tree or plant. I don't know what tree or plant will give you that kind of energy. Or you can also go into like the drugstore and get caffeine pills. Like Vivarin will give you the same effect. It just doesn't last as long.
Caffeine doesn't help me at all.
It doesn't help me either. It doesn't help me. People drink coffee and be like on the go. I'm like, I am chilling.
It makes me feel jittery, but I still...
That's what it does. It makes me feel jittery, but I'm still like, it just makes me have to use the bathroom, honestly. Yeah. It's a laxative.
So, the mic. Yeah, I just don't like...
Don't be out here getting Adderall, you guys, if you don't need it, okay? I actually needed it, but, I'm old school and I wasn't going to go to a doctor and get diagnosed because I don't want that on my record.
It actually intrigued me, though, man. If I have the ability to focus, and this is a hard thing for me, like in church, it's the wildest thing. What?
You're in church for what, 8 hours a day?
No, on Saturday it's all day.
On Saturday it's all day. Like how do you focus?
The sermons, it's like, okay, so what we do is, the service is maybe an hour, and then we break for maybe like 40 minutes or so, kind of talk, fellowship, eat snacks. We always have like snacks and stuff like that. And then we'll do a study for a little bit, and then we eat lunch. Then there's a break, and then we go to another service. And then we just do that 3 times. We eat lunch and dinner. So it's not like all day, but even in the let's take it to another level.
You may have
Outside
ADD and not the HD.
Huh?
You may have ADD, not ADHD. ADD. You may be more ADD because you're not hyper.
So ADD is attention deficit disorder.
ADHD is attention deficit hyper disorder. So like kids I used to work with, they were like bouncing all over the house.
Oh, no, that's not me.
You're more so ADD prone, more likely because you just can't focus. Because like I said, we're in meetings, you're on playing spades or whatever you're doing. Your focus just shifting and bouncing over the place. So you're not hyperactive.
Yeah, my issue. So even, this is literally every single time I pray, my mind
I think that's a human thing.
It's all over the place.
I'd be like, God, I'm so sorry. Wait.
I'm so weird. I'm weird stuff. And you're like, oh no, I did it. It's your time. I'm tripping.
I do this. The things that come to my mind in prayer, I'd be like, Donni,
what's up with me?
A disgrace.
Not everybody deals with that. Some people, y'all can pray on, focus on whatever y'all be thinking about other stuff too?
Oh, it's not just
I think
me.
it's a human thing. I think humans, our minds aren't since we don't focus so much, since we're distracted by social media, people, cell phones, our brains are just processing what we're used to doing on a daily basis. So I think if you incorporate maybe some meditation before you pray to kind of really sink in and really get focused and then pray,
that's what I do. That's my morning routine.
Meditation is
meditation and prayer are the same thing.
Well, no, they're not the same thing.
So what I'm saying, this is what I'm thinking. I mean, I've never maybe I've meditated before. You sit there.
Yeah, and just center yourself. Not like
you
that.
You sit and you calm yourself. So prayer is where you talk to God.
Yes.
Meditation is where you hear from him, right? So you get really centered and you can feel energy and feel spirit moving through you, feel your beliefs moving through you.
But I think the process of meditation where you're sitting there quiet, my brain's not deciphering whether this is meditation or prayer. My brain is braining.
You need to your brain is braining. You need to do guided meditation. So guided meditation works for me. I cannot sit in silence. I have to have somebody telling me what I should be doing. Okay, breathe, think of the birds and the trees and you at your happiest. I have to have guided meditation.
Put you to sleep though, because
otherwise,
therapy, I go to sleep.
I'll be sitting up there thinking about something highly inappropriate.
So thinking about the birds and the trees, what does that do?
That's not for real.
What do they tell you to do? It's just in the guide. You done? I'm sure King Energy. You done some guided.
King Energy is the guided.
He is the guided meditation.
Yeah, I meditate and I teach meditation classes. So basically, meditation. I got a download the other day. A lot of people are praying to God.
Hold on, bro. Okay.
I'm out of here.
There you go.
On. No, you gotta explain.
I can't say download. I can't say energy.
I can't say go.
Before you go deep, can you let the people know that we don't be in here clowning you?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not saying.
But today I might.
I'm just saying. Yes. I'm trying to understand the process. When you say it,
when they're really trying to understand, y'all. This is how they speak when they're trying to understand something.
Yes.
So they're not clowning. They're just trying to see what is he talking about and does it make sense to me?
Yeah. I went a little far with the Pluto thing because I wasn't sure that. But just she received it and sent me a text on the low I think King Energy is right. So anyway.
You had a download.
I had a download.
What did you save it to?
What's up? My see, that's where it goes left. When I'm trying to get
my consciousness, I got a download that we keep praying to God. We're talking and talking and talking, but we're not receiving. God is you're trying to seek for an answer, and I'm trying to give you the answer, but you're talking and talking and talking, and you're not sitting still enough to receive.
Got it.
So meditation is really essential to sit still and listen to God. A lot of us don't know what God sounds like because we keep talking to God and we're not receiving.
But here's the thing. Okay, so here's my question though. In the meditation process, how do you get people to focus their mind?
So first, I bring in a lot of God presence. I get them. So I use sound bowls.
Sound bowls, the little...
what we talked about, the sound bowls. It helps calm the body. It helps you get you out of your mind and back into your heart. A lot of us are not even breathing.
I'm doing that.
Did you feel calmer?
No, I didn't. Because I was distracted by the sound. I'm like, why should you talking like that?
But because you're thinking a logical way, you're not in your heart. So it's a lot of things that's in your heart you're probably ignoring. So it's time to tune back in. And those things comes up while you're praying to God because God is revealing what's in your heart. So it's time for you to heal.
Yikes.
We know it's in your heart. She was like, I be thinking of despicable things.
Because it's coming up, right? Why would it start coming up when you're talking to God? Because God is telling you, hey, this is what's in your heart. And you've been ignoring it.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get that a round of applause real quick because that was good.
Hey, quick question.
That was one thing I agree with you 100%. Yes. That was good.
Quick question, Dave.
What's up?
You just agreed to take an outside supplement to change your...
I did not agree to that.
You just said you would try it.
No, I said I was intrigued. I don't want to get addicted.
Oh, okay.
I'm not taking... No.
One quick question.
Okay, let me say that I won't.
Absolutely. But you said I might need that because I need
it. But the fact that there's going to be a high and then a crash, I don't want to.
Not everybody crashes. Yeah. But so here's the thing. Again, disclaimer. Do not take anything that you don't need. Okay. But for people who actually need it, I would suggest that you don't take the whole thing and maybe a half and just kind of see how you respond to it.
They'll give you a certain milligram based upon what you need.
Those doses be so high, and I see why little kids be all screwed up. Because if they take that whole pill as a child, it's over with, and they will they will feel the need. I don't think children should take that at all, just because they're not responsible. They're not knowledgeable enough to communicate really how they're feeling, and
Man, I'm thinking to myself though, if I could get some focus, like some real focus
Talk to me offline.
I'm not going through your plug, Donni. Through your connect.
Talk to me offline.
But I'm like, dang, if I could really get some focus, I could be limitless, man. I'm talking about like the productivity. Yeah. Meditation will help. You know what the thing is though? Because I think, and it's just me, so you said you bring in like a spiritual aspect to it, right?
Absolutely.
So I just don't trust everybody's spiritual thing because there are a million spirits out here, and everybody speaks to the universe or to their particular spirit. And I would be so focused on what spirit is here right now.
Yeah,
I still don't think I'd be able to focus.
Okay, this is what I tell everyone before they work with me: ask God, because you got a connection to God too.
Right.
Pray about it, and if God leads you this way, come. If he don't, go.
Gotcha.
If he don't, go.
So yeah, so for me, it's not leading me into a spiritual guided exercise with just anybody, right? Mm-hmm. But I still need to figure out this focus thing because my mind is all over the place, like all over the place, even right now. So I'm interviewing people, and my mind is all over the place.
I do the same thing.
It's all over the place.
In this conversation, I have drifted 4 or 5 times since King Energy's been talking.
But the cool thing is...
It's the truth.
the cool thing is... we have managed to live and operate in dysfunction. So the fact that I could be talking to somebody, having a conversation, and my mind is so all over the place, and I'm cool with it, and I'm operating at a high level in dysfunction, even that could be super dangerous.
So I am so glad we're talking about this right now because this is all, I think at this point we've had a series based around emotional dysfunction of entrepreneurship or entrepreneurs, right? Because this is really defining how I feel. So before we talked about the funk that we were both in, lack of productivity. Now it's, okay, let me handle these tasks as they come. But this week, or not even this week, for a very long time, I've been thinking, wow, if I could just really focus and be intentional about this, imagine how much further along we could be, right? But I get so just kind of distracted and I drift, like, and my distraction is still focused because I still get stuff done. I'm still going to accomplish the goal, but how much faster could I have done it? At what more of an excellent level could I have executed, right? So that's really great. I thought about, someone asked me, was it hard to make 7 figures? And when I really thought about what happened last year, no. I know for me, I slid into 7 figures. Like, I made a decision, I figured out some things, I increased some prices, took advantage of some new opportunities, and I made the 7 figures. But what would happen if Donni could be focused 365 days of a year and actually operate at a higher level?
Or focus for a strong 5-6 hours a day.
What if I could focus for 5-6 hours a day? What if I could...
You did it the other day, like locked in, 5-6 hours. Boom, right?
I was locked in, but that motivation came from, like, you put my back against the wall, I'm focused, right? So that's a different kind of motivation. But I don't want that to have to be a motivating factor to keep me motivated, right? And, I don't take supplements or pills. We did a lot of joking. That's not something that I do regularly. In fact, haven't in a few years. I did. So I get, I did.
I think I might, maybe I'll take a quarter of a pill. What you think? A gummy? They got Adderall gummies?
Yeah, so like for kids.
Oh no, this is real drugs then. No, I'm straight. I'm thinking it's something you get diagnosed from.
No,
and
so
now we start
Adderall-
packaging cookies and gummies. And
Adderall is a prescription that you get from a doctor in a pharmacy. Don't be taking that stuff. I don't know what that is.
Man, if I get some focus, I'd really like that movie Limitless. Like, and I was watching the series joint too. And I'm like, but obviously what my man turned into was crazy because it was like really like a drug addict that doesn't have the drugs.
Yeah.
But man, if I could I'm so curious as to how I'm going to see, like how, like the opportunities that I'll see. Yeah.
Everything that's on the outside is already within you. THC, whatever it's called, Adderall, all of it is already in the human body. When you start to know how to access it without the pills, that's when you tune back into God.
That's a deep spiritual connection. You can. That is true. You have to learn how to access and activate what's already inside of you. But let me tell you something.
Okay, you know what? Forget that. I'm just gonna make a decision.
I know how to do it.
There you go. Decision.
I'm gonna make a decision that I'm gonna be more focused and see how that works out.
Hit me in 7 days.
Make the decision.
You already lost focus. You're thinking about something else now.
I'm trolling, yes. So it's like, you got to figure out that you got to make a decision that the thing that's in you, like that focus.
She walked in late on this conversation. Is like, yo, what? They talking about Adderall and ADHD? No, THC, what's gummies?
But you can't decide. That's a real strategic. How am I gonna how you do that? I don't know how.
Well, you do, but so imagine. Okay, so individually, we have struggled with focus, right? Yeah. But imagine if, we've already proven that we be lacking focus together.
Oh, 100%.
Our meetings be trash.
I don't think we've had like a really productive meeting where we knocked out a bunch of stuff. The most was when it was me, you, and Dre.
Yes, now that was a good meeting.
Some stuff done.
So maybe we need that accountability because typically
we need a third party.
What we have we can't be, David and I lose focus so much that we tried. We said no more meeting at malls. Like we would meet at the restaurant attached to the mall and we write down 3 things and be at Gucci later. Like we can't do that.
I don't, that'd be hard.
But I think that we maybe need the accountability, just like me. I didn't need a supplement or a prescription to be super productive last week. I had my operations manager come in town. Having him there was like, I couldn't not answer his call. I couldn't not work in his presence. Maybe, maybe that's what it takes. Is that what you want it to take all the time? No, but if that's what it takes and that was very distracting, Joe. I lost my train of thought. See?
It's crazy. So, are you going to take some Adderall?
No.
Figure it out?
David, we are being serious. Nobody is taking drugs and prescriptions that they don't need, okay? Trees, labs.
I don't need it. Oh, did you hug the tree last week? With your bare nakedness?
So I went and I did not hug the tree with my bare ligaments, but you know, you like, what in the hell? I thought this was entrepreneurship.
To catch you up.
Yo, she was over here like, whoa.
She said she was going to get grounded. She's going to take her shoes off, go outside in a robe with nothing on underneath, open her robe and hug a tree. So her body is on the tree. That was her goal.
First of all, he's out of context, okay? Our spiritual advisor.
Did I lie? Did I make that up, Joe? I didn't make that up.
Watch the podcast. Do you watch the podcast? Watch the episode that drops tomorrow and you'll see the context of that. But our spiritual advisor suggested that hugging a tree could make me feel happy. And so I said, I can see, because the tree exudes some energy.
Your spiritual advisor?
That he's the social proof advisor.
He's the resident.
He's the social proof resident spiritual advisor. I'll call him my resident naturalist or something. I'm not sure what's going on yet, but I like it. Watch tomorrow's episode that drops.
Yeah. It's funny because the whole Adderall situation actually ties back into what you guys were talking about with the decision and the how.
You take Adderall? Is Adderall a bad thing?
I'm just naturally focused.
Any prescription that you don't need is a bad thing. Yes.
But need is relative.
Need is relative. I'm going to be very clear. Any prescription that you don't need is bad. I am a person who takes goody powders for headaches, and it's the worst thing that you could take. So don't take that advice from me. But that thing will have that migraine knocked out in 15 minutes. I'm a risk taker.
Yeah, so a decision so Adderall will be a how in this case, and then the decision is I want to be focused. I want to get to this end result, but how is just Adderall. But how also could be I'm just going to work on myself to make sure I am focused. So that's another how. So I think kind of going back to what you guys, because you guys were arguing about the decision and the how, the decision comes first, and then multiple hows come after that. So you figure out, okay, there's multiple. Like for example, if you decide I want to make 7 figures, you could do Turo, e-commerce, coaching, trading, all this other stuff. There's multiple hows. So now you got to pick a how.
Yeah,
once you pick a how, then you just go into that thing continuously. Then you find a who after you actually get that one how though. So it starts with the decision. So if your decision is I want to be focused, a how is Adderall. A how is also I'm going to work on myself to make sure that I'm focused. So Adderall, obviously, it has its pros, which is quicker, but then the drawdown is bigger as well. But working on yourself takes longer, but then it's also better because it's not as big of a drawdown because it's a part of you now.
Absolutely.
So that's a how, and then you just, lock in on a how, and then you figure out who can help me get to this end result through this how.
For sure. I feel like you could have had them bars prepared and just fit Adderall in there.
Yeah, I think so. He been sitting over there with his phone taking notes the whole time. Like, I'm going to spit something because I got to get some airtime. I'm about to get this airtime. I see what the podcast has done for others, God.
That's what's up, man. I do wish I had that natural focus, man. And I think moral of the story is we all have our shortcomings in something.
Yeah.
And we got to learn how to operate in our shortcomings and, do what we can progressively. But I am on a journey now that this came up. I am on a journey of figuring out how to focus better because it is becoming a challenge. And I don't know if I want to live with that dysfunction.
Yeah, that's true. I don't necessarily want to live with that dysfunction, but I also don't necessarily want to be put on medication as a permanent solution. So in all seriousness, I'm on a really deep spiritual journey to finding those things. And that's the part that bothered me so much because for the last all of 2020 and 2021, I was on a serious spiritual journey and you could see it in my results. And this year, when going through, that the phase that I've been and probably still am going through, I couldn't even bring myself to maintain and stay on track to that spiritual journey. Like I completely stopped. I found it difficult meditating. The same thing that you're talking about. Like I'm meditating. I'm like, oh, wait, no. Wait, I shouldn't be thinking about that. Praying.
What you be thinking about?
Journaling.
I'm curious to know. Like, what you be thinking about during prayer? Like, just give me like one time you were thinking about this and you're like, oh my gosh, God forgive me.
No.
You want to give us an example?
No, you go first and I'll follow. You go first. Don't be real me. You can't interviewer me.
I will give you. I'll tell you.
Dave the interviewer me.
I be thinking about like business.
Boy, if you don't go sit down somewhere.
I do. I went first. No, okay. You.
I be thinking about, I forgot to call the laundry company to come pick up my clothes.
Why are you not being real right now?
That is a thought that I've had. And it's a selfish thought. How selfish of a thought of that to have while I'm praying to God.
Which is cool because you're thinking about errands and
I'm thinking about
it's not cool, but is that what you were thinking about? That's like,
yeah, I just have thoughts sometimes that you like shouldn't be thinking my laundry.
I want to drink, or
no, I don't really drink like that. No, I want my laundry. Things like that.
Anyway, the reason it's so bad for me is because like I don't want to be thinking about money while I'm talking to God.
Does that make you feel despicable?
It just makes me feel as if that is more important. So for me, this is me personally, okay? When I pray, I don't ask God for more money, ever. Mm-hmm. It's not like, oh, please help me make $1 million. I never, ever. Really, most of the conversations when I pray, before I get distracted, are forgiveness. I need help being a better person. I need help being a better husband. Some of the thoughts that I think aren't necessarily glorifying God. Like keeping my mind focused, keeping my activity focused. Thanks, man. I don't know. And it's like disappointing for me that I'm thinking about all the money that I can make while I'm supposed to be in a place of,
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't pray to God asking for money. Usually, and I do feel guilty when I find myself in that space. Like, especially, there are times when I don't pray. I might have a day where I forgot to pray or just couldn't bring myself to praying because there's like a guilt inside of me about something. And so you kind of feel like, I can't pray about this. I didn't pray about that. Or, so my prayer is it's mostly the expression of gratitude. So I'm always thanking God, even in advance, for the things that I would like to see happen. But I am also thanking him for things that have clearly happened in my life. And I don't necessarily pray for money ever, but I do pray to be aligned with opportunities that will help me grow and become better. I'm always thanking God for my customers and my clients and you and my family and, everybody who supports me. You thanking God
for me, Donni?
I swear to God. Yeah, all the time. You, Andre. But yeah, I'm always like, I have my list of, my family and my friends and strangers to me and supporters. So all of you guys technically get prayed to about me. And I thank God. Like I literally will say, thank you, God, for putting me in a position where people feel like I am valuable. Thank you for allowing my clients to consider me essential. So it's not necessarily praying for money, but sometimes it is, because it could be, thank you, God, for allowing my clients to see me as essential, because we finna run up this 10 minutes. No, but you can but my affirmations on the other hand, so I have to be really, really clear. Are we pray? Because sometimes I get so deep and so in the moment where my meditation will turn into prayer. Like you'll be in meditation thinking about stuff and the tears will start flowing. Or oftentimes I'm in the car and I love to say my affirmations out in the car. And, I'm like, I am so happy and grateful that I earn $300,000 a month and blah, 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 blah. And you'll be so deep in these meditations that at somewhere you end up praying. Like somewhere along the line, it's like, God, thank you and blah, 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 blah. And then you're like, oh, wait, did I just pray for money? I was just affirming God. Like that was me doing me and then thank you. But yeah, it can get really confusing. I think the good thing though, is that God knows our hearts and we are led by his leadership and we recognize him and we understand that everything is happening because of what he's allowing us to do. And I think that's the most important thing, even when we get distracted.
You know, I was thinking for like the last 3 minutes that we should sell an advertisement of something right here.
Well, go back to me and Dave.
You feel me?
There's a lot of empty space right here.
Like
and
a
we
dope
should.
advertisement. If your brand is like right here in front of everybody the whole time, subconsciously.
Mm-hmm. That's it right there. So hit us up if you want your brand here. We'll figure out how later, but we just made the decision that we're going to allow advertisement to go here.
We'll think about how.
We'll think about how later.
Okay,
how we gonna make some bread? See, I'm sitting up here giving the whole spiritual nugget, and he's thinking about money.
It was the wildest thing, and I didn't want to forget it because I would be off. Then I'm like, dang, that'd been a perfect opportunity.
And I think that's why we cut each other off so much.
Yes,
we cut each other off so much because we will. If I don't get this thought out right now,
I know I'm gonna forget it,
and it's a good thought.
Yeah,
I am gonna forget it. People will always say, "Don't forget that. Come back to that." Oh, that's good as gone. That is as good as gone.
Well, look, man, this episode could be sponsored by you.
Could be. Wait, real quick. Did y'all get anything from today's episode?
So,
give me something. Like what? Like what?
That was crazy. No, that's like, you guys ranted for a little bit. Talked about Adderall. You'd have to go to the mic.
Yeah,
and I know it's kind of inconvenient, but I would definitely love to. Okay, we got some. Okay, y'all got something.
Oh, we got some nuggets that we picked up?
I thought it was just a regular conversation.
Now we're not looking for a new word. We're looking for what you get from the words that have already been spoken.
I definitely got something from this episode because I thought once you get to a certain level, that focus level is fixed. Like, okay, you guys got to 7 figures, so now you guys are fully focused. That's something I strongly struggle with. Sometimes I'm driving, I'm so deep in my thoughts, I'm not even paying attention to the road, but I'm driving straight. You know what I mean? So what I got from the episode is that, okay, it may never get fully fixed, but you're working on it constantly, day by day.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? That's really a good point because to some degree, we are both extremely focused. Like on one hand, I can say I am extremely focused. But on the other hand, I could say I could extremely focus for an hour. I don't know what might happen after that, right? And there are just moments. What I have learned about myself, Dave, is that I operate well in spurts. I'm a sprinter. I build business in spurts. I don't even have a desire to work 7 days a week. I don't really have a desire to work 5 days a week. My goal is to be a super wealthy, very valuable, highly impactful, lazy CEO, meaning I work about 3 days a week and I'm good. I work in spurts like that are super successful for me.
Yeah, for sure.
If you tell me that we have a whole week's agenda, I am overwhelmed.
Long text overwhelmed me. It's crazy. Go ahead.
The biggest thing I got was really what you said about how you need all 3 decisions. Like you need to make the decision, you need to know the how, you also need the execution part. If you don't have all 3 of them, then that's where the lapse or the disconnect can come when you're not actually achieving whatever goal that you're trying to achieve.
What do you think out of those 3, where do you fall short?
For me, it's definitely execution because I decide all day. Like I know that this is what I want to do. Sometimes I get stuck in the how, sometimes I'm into it, but it's really the execution because I can plan all day. Like I'm a really good planner. I help other people plan better than I plan for my own self. It's really the execution part.
Gotcha. So you're really good on like you can make a decision, you know what you want, and then it seems like it tailors off on how you're going to do it, and then obviously because that's weak, you don't do anything about it, right?
Right.
Do you find yourself continuing to make decisions of like maybe like getting excited about like you keep getting excited about different things and different ideas in different decisions? Is that
absolutely? Even because I have my own circle that I talk to about this as well, and the reason why I haven't got as much progress was because I was making too many decisions. So I was get excited about one thing and I haven't stuck to one thing as much as I want to. The thing that I'm doing now is actually something that I've decided and I've been sticking to for the longest, and I actually having some type of results to it. But the execution part is where I guess the results of what I'm like, what Myra said, do have. Like I'm still becoming a person that does the thing that has that property or the result.
That's really cool too, because now you can see it visually kind of where you're lacking, and you kind of put some more energy and attention into one of those other 2. That's
absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
You know what's cool? You just said a long text message overwhelms you. Same with me. So you got to teach people how to communicate This is from my operations person, my operations manager. This is one email.
I would never read that.
First of all, I hit him up immediately and was like, I am not even reading that.
Never.
When I get this kind of message from you, this is what's what's gonna lead me to not answering your calls because I feel like you have all of this to say to me.
Exactly. You know what's crazy? I am like a voice text messenger. Like if you got Instagram, iPhone, I voicemail, right? But if you send me one and it's like over like 36 seconds, it's over.
I'm not listening to it.
Because you can play it and then if somebody call you, it stops. Or if you hit the wrong button, it stops. And it starts always out of that.
I'm not a 2-minute voice noter. Do not send me anything over 30 seconds. I'm checked out.
We're just operating in dysfunction.
We're operating in but I will send you a whole 3 minutes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, real quick, write these things down.
Right. What you got?
Yo, all right. So I picked up, I definitely don't believe in like taking like manufactured medicine. So that's why I go, with my other route.
Okay, did you take some medicine before you got here?
I take medicine every day.
Because I can see the glasses and it's just kind of, and he real vibey right now.
Vibey.
Okay.
I take medicine every day. But like I said, I don't believe in taking manufactured medicine because when I was in therapy back in 2014, they gave me some antidepressants that actually led to my second attempt. So that kind of stopped me from taking that kind of medicine. But I'm with Donni on the lazy entrepreneur type thing because
clearly,
if it comes between business and kicking it with my kid, I'm gonna kick it with my kid every day of the week, and business gonna be there. But at the end of the day, I know that once I make my mind up to do something, I'm gonna do it. Like regardless of the how, I'm gonna do it. Like I made my mind up to lose weight. I lost 200 pounds.
Wow.
I figured it out on the way.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? I just know that my mind controls my whole body. Yeah. Whatever my mind say, my body follows.
That's a fact.
I can't even imagine you 200 pounds bigger.
That's why
I'm a different person.
So you don't take manufactured medicine, you take medicine that was put here for you and me.
And me. Okay.
What's up?
Okay. Hi. How you guys? What I learned from today was especially about like the meditation. When he was like, God, speak to you, meditation. I truly believe that. It's something that I'm new to. It's something that I'm new to. It's something that I've been practicing. I heard Joe say, he was like, meditation is like prayer. That's how I view it. Now, that's how I view it. I got away from like asking God for money because I used to do that. I found myself in situations that I didn't desire to be because I may ask for a certain amount of money, but the money that I acquired, I may have to like deposit over to here, send it over here, So it's like quickly as the money came, it went. So I'm like, you know what? Let me not ask for nothing, Let me just center my thoughts. Let me just try to center my thoughts as much as I can without asking God for anything. Now, I know a lot of things have been revealed to me, even concerning like this business. I didn't know how I was going to do it. The biggest part was my decision. That was my biggest part because I spent a lot of time on like, okay, well, I can get this machine right here. I can start making it myself. I thought I had like the how down pat, but it kept me stagnant on actually taking action because I'm developing more and more thoughts. So I had to get to a point like, look, Zay, you either going to start this or you're going to keep thinking about it. So I had to get to a point of actually taking action in it. And as I continue to take action, things was being revealed on the next step. It wasn't even the fact that I was writing it down. It was like God was leading me and showing me on the next step. And it was so clear. I feel as though when God speak to you and talk to you, it's very clear. It's not anything you're going to be confused about. It's going to be like crystal clear. And it was like each step, he just be leading me and guiding me. So there's something that I'm continuing to do is just to meditate and sit in silence, though. Not even no guided meditation or nothing, but silence because I feel as though strength kind of come in silence because it's a lot of noise that we hear in the world. It's a lot of noise going around. And you need to like separate yourself from that noise a lot of times to really like hear God's voice and really understand of what you may want. Because what you may think you may want and desire at a particular time may just be just an impulse you may be having.
Wow.
You may need to calm and level that down, you know? So
thanks for your TED
you guys and whatever just...
You needed to get that out.
Right.
You needed to communicate that message.
Yeah, I did.
100%.
From you to you.
Yeah, I did and whatever. In business and whatever, it's been hectic.
It's
been hectic.
Be my guest.
Sure floor. Hey, when people be like, wow. Yep, that's the word.
All right.
Okay. No, I'm just playing. David was over here like, yeah. All right. Right. No, not yet. Okay.
Yo,
thank you for that word, Zay.
Let me just, in the meantime, y'all see me rocking the hoodie. You want to talk? Be yourself.
I'm not starting with
yourself.
you, energy.
This hoodie is crazy. So.
I have not received a hoodie. I guess they're in production one at a time or something.
No, I got you. You're
one at a time.
I just got the sweatshirt out there. It's gonna fit too big for you. I actually want your sizes.
We got you.
I'll show it to you.
What size is the one that you have outside?
It's a medium.
Y'all want to talk about this after?
That's
We're
what
almost done
It's
here.
too big for you. I'll bring it to you.
So your sizing is off.
Yeah.
Got you.
I'll bring it.
Okay. Last one.
No, we got two more. One more.
One more.
Oh, yeah, one more.
Okay, so I more so have a question.
Okay. Go for it. Just go ahead.
Okay, so figuring out the how and the decision. So when it comes to making the decision, how do we, or what do we focus on when it comes to the how exactly? So how do I know which how to focus on within that decision making? Does that make sense?
Okay. Did you want me to take it?
Go ahead.
Okay, good. So I think the first thing you need to really just get clear on is, what are you struggling with? Because you're probably struggling with a lot, whether it's production time, pricing, sales, customer service, marketing, brand. Like there's so many things to consider, right? So you've made a decision that I want to be successful, but what does success look like for you? What does that mean?
For me?
Yeah.
Ultimately, being able to do whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want to do it.
What does that take? What does that take? It's not wrong. It's a normal answer. But what does that take? What has to happen for that to happen? And I'll go through a session, not when I was coaching. I would go through a series of, what does that take? Right? So people are like, I really want to be successful. What has to happen for that to happen? To be successful? Well, I have to have time freedom and be able to travel. Okay, what has to happen for that to happen? So my question for you is, what has to happen for that to happen that you just described?
I have to have a game plan for one. I have to have a plan of action, something to execute.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of missing a step. So you said what was your desire? To do whatever you want to do, when you want to do it. How much money does that take? You don't know? How much time you think it takes to be able to do whatever you want to do, when you want to do it?
That's the question that I have in my mind.
And now we have a business model where your income is based on you producing a product. So the question has to be, how many of these products can I take every week to give me the amount of free time that allows me to do what I want? Because you might be getting the money, but for the complete picture of success for your lifestyle, the more money you make, the less time you have to do whatever you want.
For sure.
But the more money you have, the more ability you have to do. But you can't have the time without having the money.
Right.
But you won't have the money if you don't got no clients.
Right.
So now we got to figure out the plan on, 100% really clear on what I want my life to look like. I want to make this amount of money. I want to work this many days a week. When I came up with the whole morning meetup process, in my head, it was lifestyle. I said, I can impact people every single morning and my job be done by 9 a.m. I'm 100% comfortable with that. People say, yo, you're there every day? You're actually there every day? Absolutely. Because in my head, I see that I got the rest of the day to do cool stuff and fun stuff and go podcast and all that kind of stuff, even with the podcast. I told Joe, we are going to record on Wednesdays because the picture that I have in my head about success for me says I need to make X amount of dollars, but I'm not willing to work this much time to make X amount of dollars. So I need to figure out how I can make this much money by working this amount of time. How many people is it going to take? What type of business model is it going to take? What is the product? Who pays me? How often do they pay me? There was a lot of like thought involved in shaping and creating a life for you. So you probably need a coach.
For sure.
Probably Brain Picker would be dope, probably for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can kind of figure out how to
go all in on you. Yeah. We got to get to the bank.
Can we show her some love?
Okay.
Can we give her a discount? You don't want to give a discount? That's fine.
Can I get my sign?
Yeah.
She's very hesitant on that, yes.
No.
But that would be really dope. Because, the ability for, like, me and Donni to, like, really get on one accord and help someone, like, create a plan and shape a life is so valuable. And some people, obviously, because people sign up for the Brain Picker podcast, that's dope. But some people, I don't think they understand, like, the power of what's happening. Because you also get exposure and a life. Even if it wasn't exposure, and we said, yo, come here, meet us, and for an hour plus, we will give you how we would attack this business. That's why I'm willing to give somebody $55,000. You're willing to give somebody $55,000, $25,000 for coaching. And there's no. So I gave Neo, it was like $25,000, $30,000 or whatever. He didn't sit with me for an hour and fix my business. It's a dope business model. Like you gotta, there's a lot of value in there and there's a lot of people there and that helped become, the success. I wish there was somebody high level where they would come together and give me an hour. Just how they would shape my business. Oh.
And when you did what you did, it was private. So you didn't even get the exposure piece from it.
Exactly. and we didn't get no coach, no high ticket coach has ever given me an hour of their undivided attention to focus on my business. Ever. I wish I had it. So anyway.
Well, you can get it at the Brain Picker podcast.
That's a fact.
Not one coach.
Where's the website, Donni?
2.
If the website isn't up, it's not my fault. It's Donnie's inability to focus.
It really is my inability to focus. No, those steps that have to be done, David, heck yeah. It was like, do this, but when you open it, it's 15 things you got to do to accomplish the one dang on thing.
Let's lock in. Let's lock in and make it
Let's get together Friday. You want to get together Friday?
Not really. We'll figure it out. All right, this episode is sponsored by The Morning Meetup, the only organization that gathers every single day. We are in the process of making The Morning Meetup even better. Man, I'm talking about this platform will allow, even if you travel, you'll be able to see how many people are in the city that you travel to that you can connect with. The same people that are on This Morning, you'll be able to see, a calendar of events. I'm going to be putting, stuff in there specifically for The Morning Meetup because there's like a membership portal. It's just phenomenal, man. Like group chats, like Georgia can get together, Alabama can get together. And we have so many people in the community. It's going to be amazing. The book club, you'll see the next few books, so you don't have to ask. It's just, I'm pouring a lot into this. So themorningmeetup.com, there's been no better time to get started than right now. So go to themorningmeetup.com and join our community. And shoot me a text, 404-737-4935. You'll get updates on podcast episodes, just conversation, inspire you every now and again, let you know what's happening.
Love it. I actually crashed one of the Atlanta meetups.
Did you?
Was that last week, Joe? Last week. I crashed one
Did
of the
anybody
meetups.
tell me?
No.
How did you know?
Joe told me.
Wait a minute.
That's crazy.
No.
Anyway, this episode is also brought to you by Six Figure EDU. Guys, I have a ton of resources available for entrepreneurs. Seriously, if you need to get your business and your life together, you need to literally click the link and see how I can help you. The best thing to do at this time, because we've got Post to Paid, which is a text message community for entrepreneurs who struggle to post good content online that converts, connects, and turns into cash for your business. We've got Six Figure Accelerator, which is a course that builds and develops coaches and consultants from scratch. So coaches, course creators, consultants from scratch. Six Figure Accelerator. And by the time this drops, Actionable CEO will be ready to go, which is a membership group for entrepreneurs who are struggling to take action, and you need to take action and you need some focused accountability. So the best thing to do is go to www.sixfigureedu.com/links. sixfigureedu.com/links. Also, don't forget to schedule your slot for the Brain Picker Podcast. We are super, uber excited about that. Brain Picker Podcast has helped several entrepreneurs since we've launched it become clear in their business concept. Many of them have made money. Many of them have completely started over from scratch, doing things the right way. And it's our give. It is our give. Though it's not a free give, it is our give. And we really got to go deep to help you think about your business from the perspective of, what would David and Donni do? And you know, we make it easy to really walk through. Like literally, the young lady who was on just a few days ago has a similar business model to Dave. In fact, she's doing almost the exact same thing. And David was gracious enough to literally say, "Hey, you're in a different city and state. I'm gonna give you my whole model. I'll give you my whole model. You take this, you go make millions of dollars with it." We coach and teach and develop from experience.
Absolutely.
That's what it is. BrainPickerPodcast.com. www.brainpickerpodcast.com.
Absolutely.
In the comment section, tell us what you need. What do you want us to talk about? What areas can we help you in your business? And we will see you on the next Social Proof Podcast.
Yeah. And you need a little sign right here. Look, Brittany, I'll make you a little sign right here, and it'll be a logo, whatever, right, Britt?
Mm-hmm.
That'll be dope.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just have a little sign.
Think about it right here. It needs to be, I think, a darker sign that kind of offsets all this brightness.
Could be a light sign with colors in it somehow.
It could be colorful,
that'll be dope.
But not too. You need your business
or put it
right
on a black back.
That's what I mean, like a black back. But you in the audience, you need your business right here with your name, your business, what you offer, in your Instagram link or website. Go imagine, we've been here now for 97 minutes. For 97 minutes, everybody could have been focused right here on your brand.
There it is. Listen, follow, subscribe. We love you. We out.